Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Justin Wolfe from Wolfe Customs.
And I'm Larry Roberts. Both Justin and myself pride ourselves in bringing only the best outdoor videos,
Where we show only the reality of the situation, none of the staged drama.
so if you want to see what the popular TV shows didn't show, then stay with us and we'll show you the skills and knowledge needed.
We'll show our success and our failures. In many cases, these are things that we've never done ourselves, and we're going to be learning right alongside you.
But what we won't show is the made-up drama, only put in for ratings. Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Clothed and Confident. I know it's been a while. I've been real busy with work and just life in general, and I know Justin has been too. And right off the bat, I want to say thank you very much for Joe Mobley for stepping up and helping us out. Like I said, Justin's real busy just with family stuff and work and stuff, and so he wasn't able to participate in this week's episode, but thanks Joe for stepping in. Okay, well, this week's episode it's going to be kind of a large undertaking just for me personally, and once again I haven't just very basically talked to Joe about, you know, the basic project that we're going to do, but I haven't watched his video, I haven't discussed with him the methods that he used or anything like that. This is going to be kind of a large undertaking for me just because I am not very practiced in this, and what gave me the idea is I watch all the survival shows. I mean, I just can't get enough of them. Whether or not they teach me anything or anything, I just love watching them. I don't know why. It's fun to watch them for me. What I've been watching a lot lately is the one that seems to be on all the time now is Naked and Afraid. Now, whether you agree with it or whatever, you know, that's your opinion or whatever. I personally like the show. The whole naked deal, you know, it'd be kind of nice if they weren't naked, but on the other hand, I can see the producers are doing that for ratings, obviously, but I can also kind of see that, I mean, that's the ultimate test. You can't, if you're clothed, you can take a bootlace off and make a bow drill fire. If you're naked, you've got nothing. I mean, you've got basically the two tools that they've given you, and then that's it. But anyway, I've been watching it, and the last few episodes, the people have been freezing their butts off because of the shelters they've been making. They seem to have gotten fire and stuff like... Okay, sorry about that. My camera does that once in a while. So anyway, they seem to have gotten fire and everything, but the construction of their shelters, in my opinion, it doesn't seem like they've been utilizing their fire very, very well. I mean, a couple of them have made like an A-frame type shelter where the fire is at the front, and it doesn't seem to be, you know, they really haven't done much to reflect the heat back inside their shelter. So what I want to do today is I want to try and make a shelter that I have envisioned that I would make if I were in like a jungle setting, to where I would need to utilize some of the heat. So basically what I want to try to do is I want to make a raised bed shelter with a roof, and be able to have it large enough for two people and be able to utilize a fire to direct the heat back into the shelter. I want to use all natural materials. I don't want to use any man-made cordage or anything like that. And yeah, go from there. I don't really have any vines in my area, so I'm going to have to I haven't practiced this or anything like that, so I'm going to go out to a spot, kind of try and find a spot where I want to do this at, and then try and walk around and try to find some stuff that I could use for cordage. If I need cordage, I'm going to practice a couple different things and see if I can get it to work, and yeah, go from there. So let's head on out. Okay guys, so somehow I'm going to make this work for me. I've got this thing here, crotch of these trees all growing together, over to there, and then I've got one more over there that I'm going to try to utilize. So I've got 3 points for my base, and I'll have to try to manufacture the 4th point. So anyway, I'm going to start cutting down something to go between there, some logs and stuff, and try to at least build a base to get started on. case anybody's wondering, this is a cold steel. I believe it's an LTC, light terrain chopper. I've had it for probably close to 20 years, and that's the most I've ever used it. I've never really found a purpose for it, but you know, if we're pretending we're out in the jungle or something, this I think would be a pretty handy knife. Probably notice I'm going pretty slow with it. I'm pretty inexperienced with it, and I don't want to do something stupid. Alright, now I need to brace that up somehow on both ends. I mean, it's there decently, but it's not going to support my weight. Alright, I'm not going to lie guys, this has taken me quite a while, due mostly to my inexperience in building a shelter like this. But I'm just going to keep plugging away. Okay, well, the framework's a little higher than what I wanted because I wanted it to be nice chair height so that, you know, if you wanted to hang out and just kind of sit on the end of your shelter, your legs wouldn't be swinging and it wouldn't hurt the back of your legs. With what I had to work with, this just didn't work out. I'm going super slow. I've never done this before, so it's taken me like 2 hours to do this at least. I'm burning through water like crazy. Obviously, I would be able to make this a little bit smaller if it was just one person. So if I had a partner, it probably would be going faster, although maybe my partner would be out looking for water or something like that. So, you know, maybe it would be all on me. Just gonna keep going. These maple logs, these maple saplings that I'm using aren't exactly straight. You can tell, like, this one's all crooked and everything. Hopefully if I get enough of them, you know, it'll kind of, and maybe I won't use this one because it's pretty crappy. But anyway, just keep going this corner. I'll show you this corner. It sucks, and I'll probably have to do something better. But for right now, even if I change this, even if I change that log over there, which I'm not sure this log is going to be sturdy enough. I thought this maple would be stronger than what it is, but you know, whatever. Even if I have to change that log, all these logs aren't wasted, you know, because I'm going to have it right here no matter what. So even if I have to replace this log, but I'll show you this corner. This corner sucks, like I said. I don't have any cordage. If I have to, I'll try to go find, you know, I don't really even have any vines around here. I have seen some vines in the past, you know, maybe like some big old grapevines and stuff in other areas around me, but not necessarily in my woods. Otherwise I might have to go find some stinging nettle and try to make some cordage out of that. I'd rather not. I have some willows up by the house. I could strip that bark. Making cordage is a pain in the butt. It takes a long time, you know, relatively, so I don't really want to have to do that. But anyway, I'll show you this corner here. Okay, like I said, it's kind of a crappy corner. It's semi-stable for now. You know, it's not bad, and I'm not going to wiggle it and try to get it loose, but when I drove this piece, this angled piece in there, and I hammered this in, it kind of sturdied it up. Now this piece that's all split, this was just to hold this log temporarily while I got all this other crap in the, you know. Anyway, I'm going to keep working on it. Okay, I think I've been working on it for about 3 hours now. So, you know, just going slow. Like I said, this is a new knife for me. Not new, I've had it forever, but I've never used it really. So I just want to be careful and going slow. Never done anything like this before. There's my corner. It seems, like I showed before, seems to be doing okay. And then I put just a couple random supports here. These logs were starting to bow a little bit, so you know, it's in there. I mean, it's not the greatest, it's barely resting on there kind of, but I mean, I hammered it in there. So anyway, sorry for the shaking. I've been working, I'm tired. So anyway, this is kind of how she's going. Now I could probably stop here, and that probably would be enough space, but what I want to try to do is get the logs all the way to this corner. That way they won't roll and stuff, and maybe I won't even go that far, because that's, you know, that's quite a bit of room in there. I don't really need that much room. Obviously if it was for one person it could be smaller. And also I just want to be clear, this is totally not the type of shelter that I would build in my area if I needed to build a shelter. This is copying, or not necessarily copying, but if I were in a jungle environment and I needed to sleep up off of the floor, this is what I would do. Okay, I've never done it before, so I mean, just to be clear, this is not something that I would do in my area. Something in my area, I might just cut a tree almost in half, let her drop, and then intertwine a bunch of freaking branches in there and be done with it. I think I'd have been done already. But anyway, or, you know, debris hut, whatever, depending on how cold it is. Anyway, I just wanted to show you my progress. It's been taking me a while, so I'm almost done with that bed. That darn thing's almost big enough. Maybe a couple more logs. Alright, well this is plenty big enough. And I got up here before, it seems pretty stable. These little ones back here, you know, they roll around a little bit. I need to push them in there a little bit bigger or better. This last log on the end here, I made it a little bit bigger log so that it would kind of keep everything from rolling. It shouldn't roll too bad. I notched my support logs a tiny bit so that maybe that would help keep these logs from rolling a little bit. You know, if I had time and if I found some cordage or something, I would tie that last log off. But I don't think it's that big a deal. I tried to stake it, but it's too high. It didn't really work out so good. So anyway, it's definitely not comfortable. Need to put some padding on it or something. But anyway, now it's time to start the lean-to part. But I will show you one thing real quick, and we all learn as we go. But I can tell that I should have made these logs a little more uniform in length as far as how far they stick over the support log, because if I'm going to make my lean-to, I'm going to make it probably, you know, the sidewall. I'm going to try to make a sidewall. I'm going to make it to about there. If it rains really hard, these are going to channel the water back to your shelter, and you know, that would obviously be a bummer. Instead of going through, you know, I don't have a saw, so instead of chopping all these again, if I were to find that something like that were a problem, which, you know, maybe it wouldn't be because the water, you know, is going to have gravity, it's going to go onto the bottom side, but if it were a problem, you could probably do some notching here and channel the water in each one. That'd be a lot less work than chopping each one of these logs. Alright, on to the lean-to. Okay, well, I got the top beam on the lean-to. Back to cutting more logs, more saplings, whatever. Okay guys, I've been working on this for, I bet you it's close to 5 hours now. You know, a little bit of time was taken up just kind of deciding where I was going to go and how I was going to do it and everything, but I just went back to the house. I needed a drink of water. Been battling a cold or something, so I don't want to get dehydrated and have a relapse or whatever. But anyway, I must look a sight because my wife sure laughed pretty hard. So this is, you know, this is dirty work, man. You're out here in the woods. Ain't nothing easy in the woods. You're tripping over crap. You know, you just got to kind of get out there and get it done. The bugs are all over and stuff, but anyway. I'm not sure I'll be able to finish it today. I'm going to keep working. I've got probably another 4 hours of daylight anyway. I'm going to keep working on it. While I was back towards my house, I harvested some willows. Now I could strip the bark and make some cordage or something out of those. I'm going to try not to, just because cordage takes so dang long to make, you know, and I don't want to just sit here and make cordage. And you know, I want to try to get some more of these saplings across here. And then the reason I did get the willows was so that I could weave them in between the branches of these saplings that are covering the roof of my lean-to and kind of hold it together. After that, I'm going to see about all these maple, all the maple brush, all the leaves and stuff, and see if I can cover the roof with that. If I can't, I might go try to harvest some swamp grass. The only bummer, I better only roof half of it if I want to get to the top part here, because if I roof the whole thing, or if I put the saplings across the whole part, I won't be able to reach up the top. So of course I want to start at the bottom. I'll have to think on it, but for right now I just need to start cutting some more saplings and adding them to them. I'll give you a, I'm tired too, so sorry for not making a lot of sense. I'm going to reposition the camera and kind of do a panoramic and show you how far I've gotten right now. Okay, so not really a lot's changed, just you know, it just takes a long time. So there's the bed, and obviously I would need a bunch of cushion for that bed, a couple of random logs up there, my baton and stuff like that. So anyway, need a whole lot more of those saplings. And then I harvested a couple of decent sized logs here. I'm going to put those across there when it's all done, and just kind of for stabilization. Keep in mind too, guys, this isn't a one-night shelter. Those guys are out there for 21 days. So putting in a bunch of time on it right at the beginning and then adding to it every single day or whatever is kind of what, you know, that's what I would do anyway. Sure, you can make a quickie shelter, I mean, pretty quick, you know, for a night or something like that, but this is just the route that I chose, and, you know, you're out there for 21 days, you want a decent shelter. Now I don't know what kind of shelter Joe is going to make. I'm not sure how much information he got other than just, you know, go out in the woods and build a shelter. So if his is totally different than mine, then that's why. We didn't communicate very well, or didn't communicate at all, basically. And that's not his fault at all. It's just nobody's fault. This is just how we do it. I'm going to try to cut some of these smaller ones. So that I can weave them in between these support poles. To kind of keep those roof poles there together. I might go around on the other side. I'm thinking that these leaves are going to shed water better upside down. It's just the way I'm going to do it. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe at the very end I'll probably just throw them any which way. But for right now I'm going to start. I started on the bottom and I'm putting them on upside down. Alright, get some more. Alright guys, moment of truth. It's thundering and lightning out right now, or at least it's thundering. It's raining pretty good. I'm underneath some regular tree canopy anyway, so I don't expect it to be too bad. And I think they're just kind of scattered storms. It's been thundering like crazy for the last 45 minutes or so. I'm feeling like a tiny bit of moisture. Just like, not even sprinkles, but just like little, I mean, just the tiniest bit of stuff. So yeah, so I'm gonna hang out here until the cloud bursts pass, and hopefully I'll stay dry under this thing. Well, she's really coming down now. Check that out. I would imagine I'm gonna be getting wet here pretty soon. I mean, I did the best I could, but you get a torrential downpour like this, and you better have made your shelter pretty good. I'm gonna tuck back even further. You can see I got leaks right here. A little bit of leakage there. I'm gonna tuck into the middle here and see how that treats me. Sorry about moving around. Ugh. All right, it's better here. I'm getting wet, or you know, I am getting rained on, that's for sure. If it did this like all night long, this would be a miserable freaking night. I went and grabbed some more willows. You can see them maybe through the slats there. So if it really came down to it, I might be sitting here all night long trying to weave those into spots where I'm getting wet at. But I mean, it's better than out there. But I can tell I needed a lot more stuff on it, a lot more cover. I would have thought that would have been enough almost, but whatever. It was getting late. It's like 7 o'clock now, and I think I've been doing this for, well, about 7 hours, I guess. So anyway, I'm just gonna sit tight here and I'll let you know how drenched I get. I figured I'd show you a shot of the roof leaking here. It kind of lightened up quite a bit right now, but this would be a wet night for sure. I mean, this would suck. So, I mean, I did the best I could with what I had to work with. I don't have the big leaves like they do in the jungle. And it needs 3 times more maple leaves over the top of it, I can tell. And these maples are pretty heavy. I can tell the structure is kind of bowing a tiny bit. But, whatever. Figured I'd show you the daylight that you can see through the roof. Obviously that's not good. It was real hard to tell from the outside how much I had done, and I kind of thought, naively I guess, that the water wouldn't work its way down, but obviously I was incorrect, and I was getting tired too. But you know, it would it's better than being out in the open, I guess. But anyway, this structure would definitely need some more work to it on the roof, that's for sure. Okay guys, I'll tell you why I did this shelter this way instead of an A-frame or something like that. My theory for this would be you have a bed that's longer than it is wide. It's big enough for 2 people to lay side by side, but also if some person wanted to lay over here and another person wanted to lay over here, you would have your fire like basically right down there, and that you both would benefit from the fire right there. So that was my theory on that. And then of course the raised bed for the animals and stuff like that. But on these episodes I've been seeing, they make an A-frame with a little tiny opening, and that's great and everything, but you know, your fire isn't producing any heat in there. And I blocked off one wall, semi-blocked it off, and you could do that with the other side, except or not except, but you know, maybe you wanted maybe the smoke dissipates better that way, or whatever. You just need more time. I was doing this by myself, and like I said, this would be a 2-person deal here, so either it would take half as much time or the shelter would be twice as good, one of the two. But anyway, I think that if you had a fire down here and semi-protected, not the greatest, but semi-protected from the rain, then it would keep you warm, or warmer than the shelters I've been seeing. So anyway, there you go. Okay guys, well, I want to say thanks again to Joe for filling in for Justin. And one last thing, I guess, about the roof here. You can tell why, or you can see why on a debris hunt you need like 3 feet of leaves or debris just to make it, you know, waterproof. This only has, this isn't compacted either. That's compacted on a debris hut. This probably has, you know, it's not compacted, so, you know, maybe a foot, you know, at the most. So I think that, like I said, I think that if you were in the jungle or something, you had them big banana leaves or whatever they are, big palm fronds, I think it would have worked out a lot better. But I did what I could with what I had, and I don't know, it took me a long time, I know that, and I'm beat. I'm ready to go have dinner. So anyway, thanks for joining me on this episode, guys. Take care.